Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's gonna be a super fun video piece. If you guys saw my video this morning, we did a lot of upgrades and we're gonna be really talking about all of those upgrades in today and what it's gonna really benefit for the room. So before we do go ahead and start today's video, please subscribe, hit the notification on all so you not miss our video, and please like this video. Let's go and start today's video. Well, I gotta say I did a huge upgrade to add a lot more air into the system and I'm very, very excited about that. But I'm just now realizing the pump that I did get is a lot louder than I thought, because if you just listen, it kind of sounds like just like gears turning. If you like barely listen, if you guys, a lot of you guys won't really hear it because you've really never heard the other videos before, but it's just this really loud ringing type of sound and kind of like it's grinding up something in it. So if you look around, we've actually added, so we had 1 and 2 pumps and I really felt like it was working well, but I needed a lot more. So I ended up installing another one. You can see all the bubbles right there. You can see more right there. And then over here, I ended up installing 3 on this side. There's 1 right there, 1 right there, and then another 1 right there. But listen to this. So that's the main box. It sounds loud right here, but when it's just, yeah. So a lot of stuff right there, but it gives a lot of opportunity to let stuff grow a lot more significant. And I do feel like at the end of the day, it will strongly help the room really start to thrive. But I'm going to go ahead and turn off all the fans really quick so you guys can hear what it sounds like when there's not much sound in here. Like, it almost sounds like a generator, because if you can, obviously there are some of the water kind of emptying out, so I can't really get a huge impression of like what it sounds like, but if you listen really close, you can hear it. It's just this like it doesn't really sound that bad once the fans are on, but you can barely hear that kind of, like, it sounds like the gears are turning, which is interesting. So right now I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna let it be just normal for the next few days, and if something bad happens, then I'll most likely replace it with the same thing. But so far I'm really liking it, because the air that those produce is really good. But plant wise, this is looking really good. First, we have basil right here, and I do feel like the basil roots are looking significantly better and they look so incredibly healthy. Then we have a ton of cilantro right here, and then we have a ton of parsley throughout here. I do feel like the roots and the parsley probably look the worst out of all of them, but I will say once the parsley does start to grow, it grows very rapidly. It's so impressive to watch it grow really well. So let's look around a little bit more. Yeah, the roots definitely don't look as good, but I'm gonna let it grow, let it do its thing, and then we'll see how it does later on. Then we have oak leaf lettuce, grand lettuce, buttercrunch lettuce, we have tango lettuce, red ruby lettuce, salad bowl mix, and the gourmet mixture. All of those are doing very well. I have noticed that some leaves are starting to come off in that fish tank, and I will say I wasn't really planning to mention this in today's video, so I'm filming my ecosystem build right now. I ended up adding this really cool foam wall on the back, and last night it actually detached and I can't stick it back on. So the video is done. I have to do a lot more editing on it, but filming wise it's completely done. I will probably do a video later on where I'm talking about really what went wrong, and while I kind of investigate about what really happened, so you guys don't make the same mistake. But it's sad, but also exciting, because at the end of the day, that's what this channel is all about, working and trying to fix a lot of mistakes that other people can make. So I will say that, but the fish tank is really starting to thrive, and I'm very excited for the series I'm about to start making on this channel. But this is an informational plant tour, so let's go ahead and talk about a lot more of these plants over here. So I will say all of these are doing incredibly well, but I will say it's a little bit interesting, because I really kind of feel like ever since it's really gotten a lot more better, like the temperature in here has gotten a lot more successful, and like everything's really starting to do a lot better. I've noticed some weeds starting to form in some of the soil in like random spots. It is very rare for weeds to end up just growing in here. Every so often I will kind of find it in the plants, For some reason, most of the time it is in the bunching onions, but I've not had that happen in weeks. But I just noticed one there while I was actually filming a second ago. But this is our oregano. Obviously, it's not doing as good. It's really actually kind of starting to die out. But I will say, a lot of the plants I'm going to be talking about today have had a massive root structure, and just once the root structure gets too big, the plant starts to kill each other. It just kind of turns into a war in the soil for which plant will take the extra root space to grow. So then we have strawberries right there. Those are starting to do well. I'm actually really surprised about how this is starting to turn out, because really by now all of them should be growing. So I'm going to let it grow for a few more days, probably about a week. And then if nothing comes up, I'll probably just, throw it away or something like that. Over here, we're germinating a ton of strawberries. I don't see any growth whatsoever yet. So that is disappointing, but at the end of the day, it still means they need a lot more time. So at the end of the day, it's just not that big of a deal right now. Then going down to this shelf, we have a lot of things with germinating right here. First thing is the blueberries. I'm not really seeing growth whatsoever. There's water on that. That's interesting. I'm just not seeing any growth whatsoever in that area. Yesterday was a very big video because I actually saw growth in this pot. So I don't see anything in there. Nothing whatsoever in there. And this pot is really the only pot with stuff in here. There's one right there. You can kind of see it. Right there. So it's doing very, very well. If the camera can fix itself and not be as blurry. But let's go ahead and go over here. Will the camera even fix? There we go. Okay, so I do want to mention this. I really don't talk about humidity and temperatures in here much anymore, but it's 70 degrees in here with 60% humidity. So there's that. Also, I completely forgot to talk about these. This is mustard and dill. That is interesting that I did not talk about those. Going over here, we have poppy seeds, which are flowers. Same with cosmos. Then we have a ton of bunching onions, and I actually cut these down a little bit about a week and a half ago from now, and it's just really starting to do good again. Then the rosemary is really starting to thrive. I ended up getting a lot more rosemary seeds too, and I'm thinking those will probably go outside for this season, and then so I'll probably grow a lot in here also. Then we have the biggest plants in here. But before I do talk about the biggest plants in here for the finale of today's video, I want to talk about the soon to become the biggest plants in here. These are our, these usually don't do that amazing in a greenhouse, grow room type of thing. We have cucumbers, and then we have a huge broccoli plant starting to grow really well. The cucumber plants have started to kind of die out a little bit, so that is interesting, the fact that that is starting to happen. Then we have sugar peas. This is more of a spread out way, and check out the size of like that trunk right there. That looks really, really good. And then we had even more peas right there. Very, very, very excited about that because just these have done really, really well. I'm super excited to see if these do start growing. And if they do, it'll be interesting to see how much they do grow. And if they can flower and grow pea pods. So, there's that. But talking about the tomatoes now, same thing with this. It'll be very, very incredibly interesting to see if these do well too. Because these are actually coming up on flowering. I'm really interested to see if they will, because if the other day ago I kind of stuck a tool in the soil to see like how thick the root structure was, and I couldn't even get that tool to go to the very bottom. It is so thick, and which is good because the plant is insanely healthy, but it's also bad because I'm not gonna transplant it into a different pot. So once that plant starts dying, that plant starts dying. So, then for the very end, we're growing more tomatoes hydroponically. Those are doing very, very, very well. And I think I pretty much talked about everything except the finale shelf, which is right there. So there's a lot happening on this shelf. We have basil, cilantro, oregano, and parsley. Then we have a ton of strawberry plants right there. And then back there, we actually have, well, the daisy plant, I've grown it twice in here, and both times the plant ended up dying very quickly. Then we have celery back there, so that'll be very, very interesting to see how that does later on. So, with that, this is pretty much going to be the end of the video. So, yeah. So, if you guys like these types of videos, please subscribe, hit the notification on all so you do not miss a video, and please like this video. I just really want to give a second and thank you all so much for watching today's video and supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we post next. Peace.